Hey, what's up, everybody? Wow, I feel like I just woke up because I think I just woke up. I took a little power nap. Today was my dad's 80th birthday, believe it or not. And Kat and I threw him a nice little birthday party today. We had a nice time. Had friends, family, people who lived close by, and that was a good time. We had a great time. But I am exhausted. So I am glad to be hanging out with you guys tonight for a little while. Do a little bit of sketching. A little October theme going on with our things. If I sound a little slow, that's just because I'm super tired. Let's see who's in the room with us here. Kevin, what's up, dude? Art to relax to, indeed. And if I start nodding my head while I'm drawing, you guys keep me awake. Everything is good. I'm glad to be here. Ken, what's up, dude? Ken says you're supposed to to draw along, Kev. Chop chop. Prime Ken. You are the Prime Ken. Good evening, my good friend. Thanks, dude. Yeah. He had a good day today. Haven't had the house full of people in quite a while, actually. So it was actually really nice. He had a really good time. Kevin says I'm supposed to draw. We're here, A to Z. That's right. Kevin says October. Nira is Lady Death and Mercy as Purgatory. That could be a thing. You know what? Since that's the first suggestion, we're going to start with that idea while we're talking and while we're chatting. I think Nira as Lady Death is our first hint of what this drawing might be about tonight. Cool. And I'll do my best to look up and check out the chat to make sure I don't fall behind. But let's see. What is let me see. Let's do this. Since we're thinking about Nira as Lady Death, we'll start by getting Nira's face up here and give her a slightly more sultry look than usual, since we're talking about Lady Death. Let me see which pencil's going to act a little bit better for me tonight. There we go. Yeah, overall a really good day. I'm horrible at actually hosting a party. I'm perfectly fine showing up and entertaining. But when you have to make sure everybody's got food, make sure the music is going, make sure all the drinks are where they're supposed to be. That's a lot of multitasking. I applaud anybody who is good at hosting a party of any size. Because holy crap, it takes a lot. We'll make Nira's eyes, her pupils, a little bit smaller than usual. Because this is a little bit more of a Halloween theme. She's going to be dressed up as Lady Death. I like that idea. And we're up and running. There we go. Get a little bit closer here. We'll see what we're doing. Let's see if I'm catching up correctly here. Ken says, who will be the great pumpkin? Ken Albury says, my items from the auction stream arrived today, Bill. Thanks again. Awesome. Very cool. I'm happy to hear that when things arrive safely that I ship out, I'm always super happy to get contacted by people just to let me know that it got there. I'm always scared that the mail's gonna go sideways. Luckily, haven't lost anything or gotten anything damaged in a very, very long time. Mail's been pretty dependable. So, but I'm always happy to hear, though. I'm always happy to get an update. Kevin says, oh, wait, Lady Breast. We have to keep it as one of your books. You know, right? Christopher, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us tonight. Awesome. Happy October to you, my friend. Kevin says, great pumpkins indeed. Ken says, glad you could give your dad a good day. Yeah, he had a really good day today. It was really meaningful. We actually had some friends and some family from out of town and everything. It was nice. It was a nice surprise to have some people that we weren't expecting because they don't live close to us. And before we lost my mom back in 2015, the general normal, because my mom was like the person that would gather the group, right? She was the glue that kind of held all that together. We'd have a house full of people. It's like cousins and family and friends and everybody. So she was the one that kind of did all of that, and so we haven't had that in quite a while. So he was very, very, very happy today that we had the house full of people. Gave him a really good day. So it was awesome. Here he goes. Just getting the proportions of her cheeks. All right, so far, guys, the first suggestion that I got for tonight was basically Nira X as Lady Death. So we're starting with that general idea for the moment, and if something else sticks while we continue sketching for the evening, then we will see which direction we will go. I know, pupils. Yeah, I usually give Nira these really big eyes. And the big reflection on her eyes are very anime-inspired eyes. So I got her kind of squinting a little bit now, and I made her pupil a little bit smaller since she's going to be more of a Lady Death And Lady Death, I kind of picture her with a more sultry, kind of sexy, smoldering look. So I'll have Nira meet her in the middle a little bit. Hey, some person, what's up? Glad you're hanging out. Some person says it's easier to just have a bunch of liquor and say, serve yourself. Yeah, we had a corner for that too. And trust me, there was a good group that they absolutely did serve themselves. Luckily, there were designated drivers for all of those kind folk. Love them all. Don't want something to happen to them. Don't need them walking home. So yeah, it was good. It was good. We had a general section, we had a food section, we had a liquor section. Everybody was having a good time. Kevin says, pupils can't. You, me, the other can. Shit. Some person says the Great Pumpkin. Waffle wearing an oversized pumpkin. Which could technically work. Because my dad actually has, for the moment anyway, he was growing some pumpkins in the backyard here at the old Mouse house. And that pumpkin patch got out of control. It's like, it took over half the yard. Kind of almost out of season for all that stuff, though. So it's more decorative than anything else. But there are some green pumpkins out there. So it was cool. It's seasonal and decorative at the very least. The wildlife will have their way with them soon enough. There we go. Let me pull this back just a little bit. Because once we get this face down, then I can start figuring out the general direction of how her body's going to get posed. I don't think I want to put her in a typical Lady Death pose, usually kind of a standing power pose. So I think I'm going to have her maybe like lying down on her belly. And maybe she's lying on her belly kind of in a pumpkin patch. This might actually work out pretty good. All right, some of these ideas they're starting to gel, starting to come together. I'm going to draw in her ear really lightly because her hair is probably going to be covering that. All right. All right, have Nira's signature delta. Hey, Kevin, I called it a delta. By muscle memory, I called it a delta instead of a triangle on her face. Some person says hello to Kat. Unfortunately, Kat's not in the studio with me today. She is exhausted. This whole we had you might have stepped in a little bit after I started explaining our day. Kind of woke up from a power nap like a couple seconds ago because we threw my dad, Kat's grandpa, a birthday party today, and he turns 80 years old today. So Kat is exhausted. Actually, I'm exhausted. But Kat is also exhausted. She was also helping me host and keeping everything together. Which, if anybody's ever thrown a party before, you know how much that could take out of you. So I'm glad that I'm here relaxing and doing some sketching with you guys. After we do our show today, then of course, I will gladly go pass out. But this is nice. This is nice to be able to kind of relax with some artwork, have some fun. The cat has passed out. She used up her whole battery. There we go. Just get the general shape of how her hair is going to go. Because Lady Death has long, huge hair. Alrighty. I'm going to erase some just little dirty marks here where her ear was going to go. All right, let me see if I can catch up with everybody real quick. Ken Zazer, Prime Ken. Ken says, I've noticed that for the most part, when you draw, you start with the eyes and detail them. Most artists make the form first. Yeah, it kind of depends. I start differently for different reasons, but you're right. For the most of the time, there are occasionally exceptions. I start with the eyes because I figure if once I get the eyes down, everything else kind of falls into place past that part. But yeah, if I'm working out a different kind of pose, or if I'm doing something different where I need to fit the pose in somewhere, then I might have to actually draw, the stick figure where the whole body might be falling first. But you're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I try to get the eyes down first, because once I know that the face is good, then I can see that kind of gives me the attitude for how the rest of the piece is going to go. Kind of dictates it for me. Chris Dehan's in the house. Hey, how you doing, Chris? Glad you're hanging out with us. Awesome. Very cool. We're drawing. We're starting. The idea that we're starting with tonight that was suggested is Nera X as Lady Death. It's October. We've got the spooky season upon us. So that is where the theme is starting tonight. Chris says Nera X holding 2 giant pumpkins in front of her. She will indeed, in a certain way, be holding 2 giant pumpkins in front of her. Or standing over Mercy. Mm-hmm. Very cool. Some person says Nera having a gourd time. Chris says Nera popping out of a pumpkin. That actually might work, like a giant pumpkin, because right now the way the pose is starting, I think, anyways, I sort of think she's going to be kind of lying on her belly, and maybe she might be coming out of a pumpkin. That's a good idea, dude. You just gave me a good idea. She could be coming out of a pumpkin that's kind of a Delta Void. Delta Void's the pumpkin, dude. I think Delta Void's going to be the giant pumpkin that she's falling out of. Bro, you're inspiring me. All right, so now I got to figure out how to position her arms and her torso. And then we'll start detailing that in. You're giving me good ideas, dude. And then it's an excuse to have Delta Void in the piece. I've been looking for a reason to draw him for a little while now. All right, let me rough this in. It's almost like the piece is dedicated to her trying to escape the pumpkin patch. Good ideas, guys. You're sparking good ideas. There we go. I put down some like general lines to kind of like guide where things are going to go, but they always get moved around depending on where things end up once they get solid. You know what I mean? Got to move around so that they're in just the right spot. And figure out where to have her hair falling in. Yeah, I think the big pumpkin is going to be Delta Void. Delta Void's dressed as the big pumpkin. It's nice to follow the ideas where they go. Kevin says, why did I think you were going to have fun with this idea? Chris says, Nira laying in a pumpkin patch and her pumpkins decorated? It's a possibility. Kevin says, laying upon an altar? Christopher says, how's the Zen comic coming along? As far as I know, everything's in the process of being produced. As far as my end of things, drawing the book and making sure that I got it all turned into the publisher, that's all been completed already. So my part of the Zen book is all finished. I'm actually getting ready to start working on issue 2, which I'm very excited about. So as soon as I get an update from the publisher as to where the printing is at, where when the printer is going to start shipping the books to the publisher, or anything related to fulfillment, so I can let everybody know when they're going to get their books in the mail, or at least give them a ballpark figure of when things are going to be in the mail. I will update the page. I'm hoping to hear something this week so I can update the Kickstarter page. So that's where things are right now, my friend. I've gotten a few people asking about what's the status of the book and the printing and all that stuff. So I'll be getting some information this coming week from the publisher and find out exactly what's the next step and what the timeline is looking like. But I appreciate you asking, for sure. Yeah, I'm glad that you're reaching out about it. So that's good. That's good. Ken says Nira punishing Mercy. It's a possibility. We're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens to poor Mercy when she ends up in this piece. If this is where she ends up. Ken Albury says, "I've got it. A pumpkin dressed up as Nira." Kevin says, "Nira jumping out of a pumpkin makes me think of the cake scene from Under Siege." That's one of my favorite scenes. That is definitely one of my favorite scenes. But you know me, Ken. You knew that would be one of my favorite scenes. All right. Make sure Nira has a hand on the ground here. Here, she's gonna be Lady Death. So let's work on this little on her little skull choker here. Gotta make sure she has that. Nira's gonna be Lady Death for Halloween. Let's see. Ken also says if Delta Void is the pumpkin, which I think is the idea. I think that's where we're headed. We've got to give him a wicked grin as he looks up. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Christy Han says the Under Siege cake scene is legendary. Yes, absolutely. It's the only reason Steven Seagal gets to exist. Is because he's responsible for that scene taking place. Alright, gotta give her the signature Lady Death. Black top. Little teardrop shape. Make sure we shade it in really cool. Because Lady Death always has really cool shading on her bikini top. There we go. This will be a cool piece to see in color once we get it on the Patreon page. I think that'll be a lot of fun. That might be one of my Halloween night projects. Just making sure we get this piece up in color. and we'll see who gets the original tonight. All right, I'm going to leave this part a little open because we might get some ideas that we could throw in for down there. So that might be pretty fun. But I'll finish off a little bit of this here for. Gotta have something for this little section here. I like the way this idea is coming together. So far, the parts of the idea that are sticking so far, according to the way that the art is coming along. So Nira Death is definitely cosplaying as a Lady Death character. And I'm pretty sure she's going to be falling out of or escaping the mouth of a giant pumpkin Delta Void. Which, like I said, look, finding a reason, any reason to draw a Delta Void is, I was like, So I'm glad you suggested the big pumpkin. I don't even know how that idea gave me that idea, but it's ideas spawn ideas. It's all synergy. Without you suggesting that, might not have had this picture at all. So very, very cool. I'm glad you suggested that. All right, just want to make sure we got some cool little shading on our gloves here. All right. Make sure we get a glove on her other arm. And then I will jump back to the chat, make sure I'm not falling too behind on you guys. All right, so far so good. I'm loving this. Kevin says, and here I was thinking of Quid getting his hands on her. He can make himself the shape of a pumpkin. That's true. We do have to draw. We have to find a way to have Quid join in on some of these too. That's for sure. Chris says, Nira as Lady Death with ghost pumpkins around her. I kind of like that. Prime Ken says, strategically placed pumpkin goo. Of course. Why is the pumpkin goo glowing? Christiane says, Nira in a smashed pumpkin patch with the goo everywhere. I like where that's that idea is pretty cool. I like how that's sounding. In fact, that might be where some of this imagery is going to be headed. Yeah, I like that. So we got Delta Void as basically the main pumpkin character, but there's no reason why we can't have a few other smashed pumpkins lying around her, because she's supposedly kind of lying belly down in a pumpkin patch. So maybe she had a fight. Maybe she had a fight with Delta Void Pumpkin and smashed up a bunch of pumpkins. And now the goo is all over the place. Strategic goo. In fact, that could be one of the things that she's holding here. Maybe she's holding a smashed pumpkin. I'll draw a little, the other half of the pumpkin over here. And she's got like the face of the pumpkin in her hands. You guys are giving me lots of good ideas. This is good. This is good. Go. Just figuring out where some of these shapes are going real quick. Here, let me look up, make sure that okay. Just make sure I'm still in frame. I don't want to draw for 10 or 15 minutes and you guys couldn't see what I was doing. So one smashed pumpkin in her hand. That'll be good. And we'll start the idea of the goo. Pumpkin goo Halloween. We are so bad. All right, so she's got her hands. What? What was that? I was looking down and I saw the balloons. I got to see if the reactions are turned on my thing, which I don't know how. How would it turn on? Is sometimes the reactions are set to yeah, they are on. They're set to gestures. I guess. Like, do I do this? I do this? I do this? I don't know. I don't know how the things happen by themselves. I know if I click the button, it'll yeah, see, it'll do some stuff. But that was funny that he just did it by itself. Well, whatever gesture I kind of did by accident, it was the balloon gesture, apparently. I know. I wish I could play Smashing Pumpkins in the background without getting copyright stricken. Without the copyright police coming after me. Because that would be hella appropriate. All right, so we got some goo coming out of a pumpkin here. and then we'll start working. Yeah, we got to start working on the rest of her body. See how she's lying down in this here pumpkin patch. So I'm going to work on this pumpkin, but just for a second, just to kind of darken in where things are going. Because we have to see where she's coming out of the Delta Void pumpkin. She's going to have a little bit more going on than just what's happening over here with this pumpkin guy. Yeah, I think Delta Void Pumpkin's going to be having too much fun in this picture. Bringing Delta Void back in style over this. You know? You just never know how the rest of the picture is going to come out until it comes out. There we go. Now I can figure out where this is going to lie down. Alright, let's see how this is going to go here. Our little hip. Now, Delta Void's going to be going a little bit crazy over here. Why are there balloons again? I did it again. It wasn't me. Why is it still doing it? Okay. Yeah, let me turn the reactions off. That's I really like the reactions button thing, but I don't like that it's going off by itself. Look at that, I even broke my lid. It was stressing me out, man. There we go. Yeah, I just want to give these lines a little bit of form before we figure out what's going on here. Plus, we got to put some leaves and stuff on the ground. This is a pumpkin patch. There's going to be a couple of leaves. Here we go. Let me look up and catch up with the chat a little bit. Catch up with you guys. I'm sure I've fallen behind a little bit by now. I'm over here drawing butts, getting all distracted. Oops, here we go. I want to draw off screen. You can't see nothing happening like that. bit of goo flying around. Let's see. Christopher says, did you see the new Wolfman trailer? I did not. I've been under a rock recently, just getting work done. I need to get out and watch some things for sure. Got to rest my brain. Oh, Gord. Ken says, sold. Ken Albury says, I joined this community after a Kickstarter campaign completed. Bad timing. No. Well, you stay in this community. We like you here, man. We like you here, dude. Kevin says, hey, that's my line. Now, why would you go and give her clothes? I know. But you know what? In the digital version that we will put up on the club, she will have less clothes. For YouTube, I have to give her clothes. What's the Patreon URL? Thanks, Ken. Appreciate you asking. Let's see. Let me go over to my banners, and I will let you know. My Patreon is at Bill Mouse Art. No, it is not. Well, I do have one that's there, but the one that we're talking about is called Club Corrupt. This is our secret Patreon. This is our secret Patreon page where we post all of our exotic and nude pieces, our modified pieces. Like this one's going to be modified and colored, just like a lot of the other pieces that we do on our draw streams. And what we like to do is I'll post the high res mods and stuff on the Patreon page, so that way everybody can download a high res version of these images. So it's at patreon.com/Club Corrupt, one word. And you'll see on the explanation there for like the levels, there's 2 different levels. I think there's like a $5 a month level, and there's a $10 a month level. And the $10 a month level is there just as a support thing. Okay, you only need the $5 level to have access to all the posts and whatever videos we post and stuff like that. So only the $5 level is necessario. And when it starts growing a bit more, then I would like to have a level that's a bit lower, like a $3 level or something like that. But right now it's to help the studio. It's to help me just kind of like get my bearings and kind of get things started. And especially for this coming year, I have I got a lot more content planned for 2025. So our group is small right now. It's relatively new, and yeah, and it's the things I have planned for it is basically like weekly content instead of I upload new content sporadically through the month right now, and thanks to things like this, I have fresh content to upload. And if I do other commissions and if I do special things that are just for the Patreon page, then of course I upload those there too. But I love the fact that it's growing, and little by little, I'm putting up content on a more regular basis. So the more people I can have on the Patreon page, that'll give me just enough freedom to be able to sit down and really just concentrate on making content for the club. And that just means more content. That just means more stuff on a more regular basis. And of course, a lot of the stuff that we like to upload is they're going to be the pieces that we come up together, especially like on the show, like this one. Let's see. Kevin says, talking about sticky parts. Ken says, Delta Void, what you doing back there, buddy? What's going on? I don't know. Delta Void is not kissing and telling. I don't know what Delta Void's doing, but we're here to start finding out right now. So let's start putting in sneaky Delta Void, who's part of this pumpkin patch. I'll even give him one little jack-o'-lantern tooth. And we're going to see what Delta Void is going to be up to here. Out here smashing pumpkins. Kevin says he's finding a zucchini. Some person says Snoopy somewhere in the background helping to fight whatever thing is there. I always like Snoopy. You know, I don't think I draw Snoopy enough. That's a possibility. If it goo is good. Kevin says, "Don't swallow the goo." Scribe head pumpkin. Definitely strategic goo in the Patreon version. Yeah, for sure. I think like a strategic goo version for the Patreon, and also like, you know, like a completely open, like just kind of nude version. That's the one thing I like about the Patreon page. We can have like a couple different versions of the same image. You know, it's a lot of fun. You know me, man. I think Delta Void just out here eating pumpkins. It is kind of cool that I could share, like, because the idea is forming in my brain, like the way that you're seeing it when I'm drawing it, like in real time. You know what I mean? It's like I'm getting ideas and I'm getting positions and I'm getting like, you know, physical, like image data. Like I'm literally, that's why I bounce around the image a little bit too, is because like as I'm thinking of things, like it's like, oh, I want to show you this. I want to show you, like, you know. So as I'm thinking of it, as it's coming into my brain, to my cerebral cortex, I'm trying to like show you. It's like, dude, this is what I'm thinking. Check this out. It's kind of weird. I keep on expecting to hear. Waffle is our studio security pooch puppy, and he's at a little pet hotel tonight. Because we were having that birthday party today for my dad. My dad turned 80. Good God, right? That's pretty awesome. Yeah, so we had to treat him right. Make sure he had a good birthday party and stuff. But I keep on expecting Waffle to. I keep on like hearing his little feet running across the floor, and I know that he's not here tonight. But when you're so accustomed to hearing something and expecting something, it's like, still. I kind of missed the little guy. I get to pick him up in the morning, so don't feel too bad for me. All right. Well, we definitely have Delta Void's big smile. Maybe I'll have another pumpkin guy right over here. Because the idea is that he's smashing pumpkins, like the band. The idea is that there's some smashed pumpkins up in this joint. And it's all thanks to his shenanigans. Kind of makes me wonder if Nero was at a Halloween party and Delta Void came to crash it. Delta Void loves eating them pumpkins. I'll put another pumpkin in his mouth to kind of drive that point home where he is basically smashing the pumpkins out of the pumpkin patch. All right, let me catch up on a little bit of this chat here. Some person says candy spilled everywhere from a trick-or-treat bag she dropped, which sounds cool, but it sounds like a long time to draw. But it does sound cool about it. I do like it. Kevin says, if we are so bad, do that mean you are on the naughty list for leading us astray? I don't know, man. I feel like you guys are leading me astray. Yeah, that's the ticket. That's my story. Christopher says, hope Nira is showing off her butt. Yeah, she should. And in the digital version of this, I'm sure she won't be wearing the bikini top and the bikini bottom. So we'll make sure that we digitally remove those. That'll be cool. Kevin says, I mean, I see the back in the background image playing. Yes. Damn it, Delta. Give me my panties back. Ken says, Delta Void biting the bikini bottom, so it's being pulled down. That's a cool idea. That's a cool idea. I wish I'd gotten that out a little bit sooner. But for YouTube, we got to keep it somewhat. I don't want to get strucken, but that is a good idea. I'm going to do that at some point. Some person says the pumpkin could have a scythe already stuck in it. That's a good idea. Pumpkin scribe. The butt is triggering the balloons. I believe it. Yeah, I had to turn off the reactions altogether because like it kept on doing that thing. All right, so I know Delta Void has the way the inside of his mouth is. He's got kind of like a chamber, like a plasma chamber. So I'll draw a little bit of that because that's one of the things that makes him him. Yeah, I like drawing. It's almost like he's gonna like fire plasma energy out of his mouth. I always like drawing him like that. All right. Ken Albury, I completely agree. That has to be it, right? I mean, it's like I don't understand what else was because it's not like I was making a specific hand gesture to set him off. So I guess that is as good a theory as any. So I'm going to go with that. I'm definitely going to go with that. Near his balloons. Here, let me catch up on the chat for a couple seconds here because when I'm drawing, I kind of give her the butt dimples. Oh, dude, I'm glad I just read that because I was just doing the little area where like I like doing it with the color with when I'm coloring it. But yeah, you're right. Having a little butt dimples are always good. That's a butt that could pick up a dime. Amen, brother. Ken Albury says, I didn't realize there are two Patreons. Yeah, the Bill Mouse Art Patreon is really just starting. So, I mean, if you do support it, I mean, that's awesome. I'm not really guiding people there yet because I don't have regular uploads that are going there just yet, but I have it ready so that when I'm ready to do that, I can start and then I'll start promoting it. But if you want to earmark it or, like just give it a tab so that way you know where it's at. That way when I do start uploading some regular material to it, you'll know where it's at. And that's cool. Right now, the one that's getting semi-quasi regular updates right now is the Club Corrupt one. So that's the one that's kind of growing first. We'll have fun with that one first as far as new material coming up. But yeah, thanks, dude. Some person says there's a fake Patreon, and there's the real Patreon. Yeah, the other one is kind of like I think I basically got it, so I didn't want anybody else to take the name. Which who else would take the name? It's like who else is Bill Mouse Art, right? So, but it's happened before. Somebody stole my website. Granted, it was solely with the intention of trying to sell it back to me for a higher price. It was one of those companies that's what they do when your website lapses. This happened some years ago, and they kept it. So that's why my main website is just. It used to be BillMouseArt.com, but now it has to be BillMouse.com. Unfortunately, I couldn't keep the same name, and I'm not gonna let them win. Let them take money from me to sell me back my own name. So Christopher says artwork looks awesome. Thanks, Christopher. Awesome, dude. Thanks, man. Ken Albury says book to mark both. Awesome. Perfect. Some person says Delta Void dying from all the candy he stole. It's what he deserves. What digital platforms do you draw on? That's a good question, Ken. I was all these years I've really been a Photoshop guy. Photoshop was my go-to, and it really is for most things. Because I letter in Photoshop, and I do all my color correcting and all my file saving, and all my technical stuff. But honestly, for my for the heavy lifting when it comes to if I'm digitally inking or if I'm coloring, for all of that, I've actually been using Procreate on my iPad. Um, for me, it works a lot better than Photoshop. It works the way that my brain kind of thinks. Put it that way. Um, I A lot of people swear by it, and that's cool. I swear by it for myself. Um, but a lot of people like Kat, my daughter Cat Mouse. She swears by Clip Studio. She uses Clip Studio for her digital heavy lifting for most of what she does digitally. And she swears by it. She's been trying to get me to switch for the longest time, and I'm sure I already I got it for my computer because I do want to learn how to use it. But it's not my go-to. For my go-to, it's actually been Procreate on the iPad. I'm able to. It's just the way that it works. It does what I want the way that I want, and it's not a. I mean, even if it was a subscription, it's I'm not going to be like a salesman for it, because it's like, oh, like you don't have to buy a subscription for it. It's just a one-time purchase. Blah blah blah. There's lots of good reasons to buy it if you're trying out um, different programs, especially because of the subscription thing not being part of the ecosystem. Um, but even if it had a subscription, that's probably the one I would use because it works better for me. But that is my digital go-tos. Working on where Delta Void's eyes are going to be. Some person, Lady Death, not again. Ken says, Delta beats Void. Delta beats. Kevin says, "Wow, I never knew pumpkins had tongues." I know, this is like the pumpkin goo, I think, coming out of the pumpkin, or maybe this is like the goo of all the pumpkins that he's eaten already. Delta Void absorbs things that he eats and makes it part of himself. So he's feed me, Seymour. This reminds me of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Oh, that's funny. That's funny you mentioned that because I actually used to work on that. Maybe that's the reason it reminds you. I don't know. Maybe I'm channeling my inner. I used to work on a character named Mamato because he was a killer tomato and he had bandages like a mummy. But I used to work at an animation studio in California. And one of the things that we worked on was Attack of the Killer Tomatoes for Saturday morning TV. I'm not even positive where it aired or what countries it aired in, but it was around for a hot minute. I drew a lot of tomato. That's back when I first started. That's before I got my first comic book gigs. Before I started really getting into comics. I mean, I've always loved comics, but I never got my foot in the door working in comics until after I'd worked at the animation studio for a while. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. That brings back memories, dude. Some person says maybe there could be tiny gourds poking her with sticks as an insult to injury. Ken says Bill drew for Attack. Oh, there you go. You see? You know my history, my friend. Yes. Yeah, the cartoon. Yeah, Saturday morning cartoon. Yep. Cool. Well, technically, Waffle belongs to Cat because I bought Waffle for Cat. So Cat has this is her first child. This is her furry baby. So all things being equal, technically, Waffle would be my grandpup. All right. Pumpkin Delta Void is taking shape. Ken says, turn the piece to portrait aspect and another unintentional porn piece by Bill. And there you have it. Anything I draw that's turned sideways, according to some people, turns it into porn. Ken says, a Halloween party? Millions of ideas fly by. Yes. Maybe something on fire? That's a good possibility. Some person says, Bill, did the tomato job make you sick of drawing tomatoes? You know, it was one of the first art jobs, like really, like a real art job that I was able to get when I finally got out of college, out of my community college. I live in Virginia Beach, and this is where I went to community college. I finally started taking some art classes, all excited about it. And me being a 20-year-old something, my dad used to be in the Navy. He's a retired Navy guy now. But back then, they transferred him to San Diego, and that's how I ended up going to San Diego. I followed them, and I was so hungry for any kind of job that was artwork related that dude, I was just ecstatic to have a job. So I drew a ton of tomatoes, and I'm not saying there was never a day where I was tired of drawing tomatoes, but I was pretty happy to be drawing tomatoes. Plus, I went from doing like really nothing with it. I would sell individual pieces and things like that, but I was fresh out of school back then, so I didn't really have any kind of track record or anything like that. So the fact that I was working on anything that was art related was super exciting to me. Of course, I never get tired of drawing those. That goes without saying. In uniform too? We'll see. We'll see. Some person says it was a pumpkin mash. It was a gourd patch smash. Ken Albury says, awesome. My family got me my iPad nearly 2 years ago. Procreate got me drawing again. Yeah, Procreate. When Procreate first came out, and I did get it when it the very first version of Procreate when it first came out, it didn't have like as many features, or I enjoyed playing around with it. I enjoyed doing like just sketches and my own stuff with it. I didn't think I was going to be able to do now when I say real work, I mean like like production work, like something that's at the same res that we use for printing and actually have a lot of the same tricks that Photoshop would have. I didn't really think that I was going to be able to do that with Procreate, and it's awesome. It's actually doing everything that I needed to do, and it's great. It's really great. At some point, I want to try out Procreate Dreams, just because I want to see if I can get into a little bit more animation in my spare time, and plus, I want to do some animation things with Nira, and if I can just do some stuff on the side while I'm finishing other things, that would be dope. Ken says I'm working on my stuff on Procreate as we speak. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, all the artwork that I'm coloring and modifying for the Patreon page, I do everything in Procreate. In fact, all of the coloring and digital inking that I do for all my comic book gigs that I work on now, all my professional stuff, I use Procreate for all of that. And then I transfer and I put those files when I'm done with my files in Procreate, I'll put them on my desktop, put them into Photoshop so I could size it correctly and work on just like cleaning it up, like borders, lettering, and getting it ready for print, having it print ready. Some person says it could have been could have vines wrapping around her. Oh, that's a good idea. I like that idea. It definitely goes right along with the whole pumpkin patch thing too. So yeah, we have to have some vine action going on somewhere in this. That's too much on theme to not include. I'm gonna have some pumpkin goo dripping out of the side of Delta Void's mouth here. I'm surprised that I've got as much energy as I've got right now after the birthday party today. I am as soon as we sign off tonight, I'm definitely going to be passing out. But yeah, I'm super happy. I've got this much energy right now. It's like the drawing is literally giving me the will to live right now. It's good. It's good stuff. Kevin says, "Why am I picturing MASH now?" I'm going to keep my hawk eye on you. Maybe your clinger onto the past. Kevin says, "We all know where his eyes are going to be focused." This is true. We know what he's looking at. Chris says, "On her pumpkin patch." Thank you, Ken, for the drum roll, for the drum patat. Some person says, "It shows you've got experience drawing vegetation, eating people." You know what? It does show that. Maybe that's where that comes from. There you go. We found the source. Ken says, let us squash these produce puns. Ken Albury says, "Hi, I just realized there are no colored pencils in sight tonight." Yeah, I'm using my regular pencils and erasers tonight. I love drawing with the colored pencils, but yeah, I always like my normal pencils as well. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of latitude. Yeah, different tools bring out a different side of a person. I've noticed. So it's like if I use well, with any artist, if they're doing something like if I use airbrush or if I'm painting something on a canvas or something like that, it brings out a certain different vibe or different feeling. I think it just has to do with what those tools can do, or what the person can do with the tools, where the comfort level is at, and all that good stuff. This piece came out really, really cool. You guys had some really cool. You sparked my brain today. Take care of Gooville over here, Mr. Goo. Got a busted up pumpkin. There we go. I kind of like the fact that the piece is really centered on just her this time. Feels like a good pinup piece that we can have in one of our parody books. Which our Club Corrupt book is actually a parody book. It's just full of naked people. Yeah, luckily we're just about no, we actually are. We're at 50% fulfillment for the Club Corrupt #1. So I'm stoked about that. We're actually making some good progress. We're packing up more boxes and more stuff. So hopefully when November rolls around, I could say that it's 100%. Kevin says, "Oh my, Bill caught up with the chat for now." Ken Albury says, "I expect my commission to be drawn in molten gold with a fountain pen." Nothing but the best, my friend. Ken says, "With Delta's tongue like that," Nira is saying, "That's why they call him the Great Pumpkin." Found it. Some person says could be groove marks on the ground where her hands tried to grab. Okay, yeah. And that's just his head, Ken. I bet Nira is already imagining what the rest of him looks like. She's going to carve herself a pumpkin when she's inside. That's for sure. Looking forward to Club Corrupt too. Thanks, dude. Chris says, pumpkin carving Nira. Yeah. Well, let's see. I'll at least put some little marks next to her fingers here. Doesn't do too much, but still. And you know what? I like the idea of a sword being in here somewhere. So maybe we're going to have a Nira Lady Death sword stuck into a pumpkin, because she was out here carving pumpkins, man. And I'll make her sword kind of Lady Death-ish, because that's the theme we're kind of shooting for here. With her logo, it's like I'll try not to make her. Although I like the Sword of Omens. Anytime I draw a sword with a round element in the hilt, all I'm thinking about is a Sword of Omens. Yeah, draw the handle, got the hilt. I want to have this thing sticking out of a pumpkin head. I got the image in my head for it, and I'm just like, I got to get this image out before. And I'm gonna have some videos. I don't know if there'll be live videos, but during the week, I'm gonna have some videos coming up on my YouTube channel, showing some of the work that I'm doing with some of our characters, our company characters, our Nira X characters. So I've got this big piece that I'm working on that has Thalia, the Cyber Demon. It's a cool piece, and if you ask Chet about it, it includes a mirror, because that's all I'm going to say about it. But it's going to be really, really cool. And then I'll have some video of that up on the channel. A lot of cool ideas are coming up soon. Very excited, very excited. All right. I want to make sure we get this sword down before I draw the dying pumpkin. It's a dying pumpkin, Charlie Brown. And this is pretty good timing. I think this is a really good piece for tonight. Because I see that we've been drawing now for almost like an hour and a half, something like that. Oops, let me put this over here. And that's about how long I've got before I get to go pass out for a little while. Get some rest, and I'll come back at it again fresh tomorrow. I'm really happy because this is a lot more work than I thought we were going to be able to put into a piece tonight. So I'm really happy about that. I'm glad we could do like a cool piece and a seasonal piece to boot. I halfway thought I was going to make this one a tomato, but no, we will keep it pumpkins. That is the theme for the evening. Nice. Yeah, I really like how this came together. It's got a good little composition and everything. I'm proud of us tonight. I think we did so good. Here we go. Let me turn this. I think I had it at a weird angle because it was like a. There we go. Yeah, just kind of keep that straight real quick. Delta Void. Dude, it's all right. Here, I'll catch up with the chat for a few seconds, kind of give my brain a little bit of a little rest. Let me see here. Where were we at? Takes a bad boy to make Nero feel good. Delta Void is a bad boy. He's a big bad boy. Kevin says that handle is looking vaguely phallic. It includes a mirror. Chet's breaking it. That sword almost looks like the Thundercat sword. I know. It's in my DNA. You know, that dying pumpkin reminds me of the costume heads in Halloween, Year of the Witch, as the kids' heads dissolve. This is true. Thundercat. Oh. Kevin says, Bill, I just got a notification of your stream for tonight. I'm so glad I got it finally. Oh, man. Well, I hope you could join us tonight, Kevin, for our stream that we're having tonight. I don't know what's up with the algorithm, man. It's like, even with regular posts, when I'm posting things onto just regular Facebook or whatever, it's like people aren't seeing the posts for like a couple days because I'll get responses from people who see it for the first time. And it's like, wow, yeah, I posted that like 4 days ago. It's like, I don't even know what they're talking about. Yeah, I'm not happy with that algorithm thing. Some person says the sword and the gourd, whosoever shall pull this sword out of this pumpkin shall become king of Halloween. Kevin says, I will be king and she can be queen, and together we'll be heroes just for a day. Oh, man. Yeah, you guys are cool, dude. Well, I'll tell you what, because this is our piece for the evening, and I think this is where the piece is going to stay for right now. I might add a moon in the background a little bit later. But yeah, I think that's the energy that I've got for tonight. So you know what? I'll tell you what I can do. We can put this up for auction like we always do at the end of each show. And if anybody would like to bid on this piece, and it could be anything, the only thing I ask is that you write the word bid next to the number. It could be $1, it could be $2, could be $1 million. It helps the studio, it keeps us going, and it keeps the show fun. So if you guys would like to bid on the piece, it's 11:38. It's almost 11:40. It's almost 11:40 where I'm at. So I'll let it go for 5 minutes, and so like say 11:45, I'll do like a little 10-second countdown, and we'll just leave it at that. If anybody would like to bid on it. If not, I'm glad everybody was watching. This is our excuse to get together and do fun stuff. So that's what it's all about. Ken Albury has bid $20. You're the big number in the room right now, Ken. Prime Ken also bid 20, but Ken Albury was first in line on the chat. Now I realize I'm going only by the chat, because there's always a delay between my voice and when you hear it. So we shall go from there. High Moon. Kevin Green is bidding 40. Kevin, thanks, dude. Kevin is the big man in the house right now. Some person said, is Nira's moon a harvest or a blue moon? Yeah, I gotta figure it. I always draw those big McFarlane moons. I think I'll call it a McFarlane moon. Prime Ken says 50. Thank you so much, dude. You're awesome, man. I'll write that down over here so I don't have to scroll back up. Ken Albury says that escalated quickly. You guys are awesome. Kevin is saying blue, most definitely, and Kevin knows me well. It could very well be the blue moon. Could be a super moon, a super hunter's moon. We'll let this go for a couple more minutes. Prime Ken Zazer is in the house with 50. You got the big number in the house right now. Thanks, Ken. You guys are awesome, dude. Yeah, a hunter's moon. Mm-hmm. A super hunter's moon. And we'll give this a couple more minutes. It says 11:40 on my clock here, so I'll give it like 2 or 3 more minutes. We don't have to go like a full 5 minutes. Kevin says we just had the Super Hunter's Moon the other day. Hey, did anybody get to see all those auroras the other day? It's like I didn't get to see any of that. There was people in Texas that could see them. And I'm in Virginia. I should have been able to see something. But there's a lot of light pollution here. So maybe that's granted, I'm inside all the time too. So that could be another reason. I don't know if any of you guys got a chance to see any of that. Some person says Nira always wonders why she kept forgetting to put on pants for a decade. She's got a pair, but it's covered in cobwebs. The biggest, brightest moon of the year in a world Oh, Ken Zazer says, we also had a comet visible. Really? I didn't even hear about the comet. I need to listen to the news a little bit more often. I heard about the auroras, and I'm just like, oh man, it's like. But I heard about it like days after it happened. People are showing video. Ken Albury says, I live at the border in Washington State. Oh wow, you see them easily here. Oh man, I'm jealous, dude. Washington State, man, all the way over there. That's pretty cool. I got some friends from high school that live out in Washington State. One day I've got to make it out there. Emerald City Comic Con is out in Washington. I've been trying to put that on my list for a little while. Kevin says she pulled the pants out for the Zen book. That's true. It's actually true. Yeah, I had to. I designed. I wanted her to have a specific, a unique look for that Zen miniseries, so that way at a glance, like I could kind of tell which series that was. I always like her. I like her. I like her to have. I like her to have a nice assortment of costumes to wear. She likes to change quite often. Ken Albury says, "LOL, you've mailed me 2 packages this month. You should know this." Oh my gosh, dude! It's like when I give the packages over to Kat, and Kat does the when we print our postage right here in the studio, and it's like once it gets stuck on the box, it's like it's ready. It's like it's out the door. So sometimes I forget. We got packages that go to so many different places. But you're right. I should know this. Kevin says he's going to bid 60. Thanks, Kevin. I'll write that down so that way I remember. You're awesome, dude. Thanks, man. Ken Albury says if you make it out to Emerald City, I'll be happy to buy you lunch. Oh man, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll hold you to it, man. That'll be awesome. It'd be good to. I love how many people that I'm able to meet and talk to online, but if we can actually hang out in person, I put a real face to the name. That's awesome, man. Be able to hang out for a little bit. Chris Dehan says 65. Thanks, dude. I'll write that down. You're the big bid in the room right now. We've got 1 more minute before it's 11:45. And then we're going to do a 10-second countdown. Thanks, dude. Kevin says Bill's brain is like that dead pumpkin right now. Mine is Delta Void, LOL. Hollow and evil. Evil. All right, let's see. I'm going to put the piece right up here. That way I get the keyboard. Hopefully everybody is on the live chat that's right on our on the actual YouTube channel. And if you can peer pressure all of your friends to give us a subscribe and a like and all that stuff that people constantly remind you to do, that helps our little channel. But we'll be doing a 10-second countdown here in just a second. Some person says you can make the moon look vaguely like your face, Bill. It looks towards Nero, of course. It's not a bad idea. Josh, what's up, dude? Hey, I'm glad you're hanging out with us. That's awesome. Joshua says, nice picture. Thank you very much, good sir. Yeah, it's something we like to do every week. We have a draw stream where we all kind of throw ideas at each other and see what kind of sketch we come up with by the end of the night. And then I auction off the sketch, which I'm just about to do. Kevin says, come on, people, bid more. Chris Dehan says, Nero looking up at a Super Hunter's moon would be cool. That would be cool. I like that. You know you want to. Ken Albury says, brave of you to assume we have friends. I know, right? Joshua Pantelaresco is moving to YouTube. That's awesome. Okay, awesome. Says, I wish I could. Backpacking isn't cheap. Thanks, dude. Yeah, we've been doing good. Been doing good. It's we just finished celebrating my dad's 80th birthday today. So this is my this is how I relaxed. I relaxed with my good friends, hanging out, doing some sketching, and auctioning off the artwork to see who wants to win the piece at the end of the night. So that's what we're doing. And it's then it's for the week. We're going to go back to deadlines and back to all of our other book projects that we're working on. So I am definitely looking forward to getting the week started after about 12 hours of sleep. I think I'll do a tight 12. Hey, thanks, dude. Thanks, dude. Yeah, we gave him a nice birthday today. It was nice. It was nice having the house full of friends and family and all that good stuff. Josh says, currently in Independence, Kentucky, as I've been backpacking through North America. Yeah, you gotta follow Josh, guys. He's been traveling all around the place, been all over. That is awesome. All right, well, let's see. The high bid right now, if I'm not mistaken, is Chris Dehan at 65. I'm going to go ahead and start doing the 10-second countdown in the chat. I'll say it also with my voice out loud because I'm talking and nobody else is talking. But I will count this down. 7, 6, and I'm typing it in as soon as it posts on the thing there, and it actually blanks out for me to type the next number. That's the reason I'm counting kind of slow. So 5, 4, 3. I feel like the count. I always feel like the count from Sesame Street. 2, 1. Sold. Chris, congratulations, dude. Thanks, man. It's like, please, everybody. Chris, you outbid yourself. What's up to you, my friend? I know you're trying to ensure it. I'll hold you to the 75 if you like, but you did win it for 65, so it's all up to you. I believe you already have my PayPal info. I believe so. Congrats. Yeah, please, everybody, congratulate Chris. He is the winner of the bid this fine evening. For the sake of the show, for the sake of people knowing, when you do win a bid, you can PayPal using friends or family. I mean, if you want to, because that always helps. But you always send your PayPal to bailmouseart@gmail.com. Or if you're sending Venmo, you can also send it to bailmouseart, just one word. So that's all good. But I believe Chris already knows these things because we've got some other artwork here that's his. Josh says he had to bid. Ken bid 70. Where was the 70? Oh my gosh, I see. It didn't show up on my chat until I just saw it now. Unbelievable. I see it now. I'll take a screenshot. Well, you guys see it in the chat. I see the 70 right here. It goes slower. 3, 3, 70. So Ken, did you win it for 70? Is that what's going on here? Why does my chat jump around like that? And then, of course, 2, 1, and 0. And then, Chris, you bid 75, but you bid right after the 0. So I believe that Ken Zazer is the winner tonight. And I'm confirming with everybody in the chat right now, guys. Let's see. Joshua says he had the bid. Ken bid 70. Ken got 70 in before the 000. Ken, book it was 75. No, Chris won it for 75. Are you sure? Jump around. All right, if Ken is, it was a split second. Now, according to my chat, you did get in your 70 bid before the end, of course, and then Chris Dehan's 75 bid came in right after the sold. So if you're sure, it's up to you, Ken. It's up to you, Ken. Ken Albury says, those Ken boys, always a class act. Ken Zazer says it's all good. Thanks, bro. Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. So Chris, you are the winner of the bid for tonight. And it was 75. Check you out, man. You got it in just under the wire. And thanks to the good graces of Ken Zazer, also known as Prime Ken, TSOTG, member of the Citadel, the Cyber Angel Citadel. Thanks, dude. Yeah, I'll look for your PayPal tonight or whatever, and you can send that in. I know that you're good, and we've got this artwork where we're able to hang out for a while. That's the most important part, and throw around some ideas and have some fun. Awesome, man. Congratulations to Chris. I see some congrats here. That's awesome. Thanks, Josh. Josh says that's a sexy Nero. Kevin says, congrats. Didn't we have something like this happen on Sunday too? We did. I guess I was busy like actually typing the number, and I'm kind of staring, instead of staring right at the chat like I should be, I'm staring at the blank field where I'm going to type in the next number because I'm waiting for it to go blank so I can type in the next number. So this is all on me. You guys are the class act, being cool to each other and making sure that everything runs smoothly. So hey, without my friends and without surrounding myself with good people such as yourselves, like I would be down in a creek somewhere, face down. Awesome. Ken Zader says we did, and it invoiced me again. Oh, it involved me again. I said invoiced. See, and it could be that I'm a little tired tonight. It could be that I'm a little tired. But I think I'm staring at, when I'm typing in the numbers, I'm staring at the little blank field so I can immediately type in a number so that it can do the thing. All right, guys. Well, this was a really cool evening. Thanks for hanging out with me once again. Looking at my calendar, I'm pretty sure that we'll be here again next Saturday, as we usually do. I'm going to look at my calendar just to be sure because a lot of things have been happening lately. Yeah, we should be here again on Saturday, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, like we normally do, and we'll throw around some ideas, and we'll keep it spooky. It's October. We can come up with another October-ish idea. Kevin says, with a little help from my friends. Oh man, I need you guys. Keep me straight. Joshua says, I'll try to stop by. Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. It's like, throw me some messages or whatever on the old Facebooks. I forget exactly which thing that we're all connected with because my brain is mush right now, but I know that we're connected. So yeah, let me know where you're at. Christopher says, can't wait for this artwork on the club. Awesome stream. Thanks, Christopher. Yeah, I can't wait to color this one up and to modify it a little bit, make it have a couple different versions of it. So that'll be a lot of fun. Joshua says, thanks for the fun stream. Thanks, Josh. And thanks for stopping by. Thanks everybody for hanging out and hanging out with me for a little bit. We're going to do it again next week. Everybody enjoy the rest of the weekend, and hey, be good. All right. Talk to you guys later. Good night.
Good night, Seattle.